So tell us about your hat.
Oh, it's the best hat I've ever had. It has a light. It has a brim to keep the sun off your face. And nobody stares at you. This is probably one of the coolest things we've ever done. And it's thanks to Less Junk, More Journey, because they inspired me with last year's video of it. We are at the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, and we've been on the road for several weeks now, and I'd like to get a video up once a week, but if I don't do something today, it's not going to happen. So I thought I'd do a little short video on maybe a few things you should know about the Fiesta if you're coming. And then I also want to share with you some of the issues that have kind of been unresolved and just kind of give you an update on where that stands. So, first thing, we arrived yesterday and we needed some drinking water. As I've mentioned before, we don't drink the water from our tank, our freshwater tank. We usually get a couple gallons and carry it with us. And we thought we were going to fill up at a rest stop before we got here, but one didn't have water available that we could fill, and then the other one was closed. So perhaps if we'd read all the material, so I guess the first tip is read the material. If we'd read that, we would have known. And so when we got here, we went on the search for water. There's this ballpark right next door, and it has probably 6 or 8 ball fields. You'd think there'd be a drinking fountain over there, but there isn't. There's nothing. We scoured that place. So then we proceeded to walk down. It's kind of an industrial area that's nearby, so there's no shops, there's no like a 7-Eleven type thing. So we started walking down the main road, Alameda, and we found there was this pizza place. It's called Wise Pies, and went in there and they said, sure, you can fill up your water. We were only getting a couple gallons. But then we decided to get, they serve individual pizzas like within 3 minutes. They kind of go on a conveyor belt, and actually it turned out really good, and the guys were really nice in there, so we'll probably be going back there for another pizza. So there's a tip if you're running out of if you run out of water, if you weren't smart enough to read the material like us. The second thing, I mic'd up because there are generators everywhere. There's a generator right across the way from us because you're in the rally style parking here. And so it's going to be loud, so just be prepared for the generators. If you're somebody like us who has solar, we don't need to turn our generator on. So be prepared for that. And hopefully the weather is cool enough that your windows will be closed at night and not be bothered by that. The generator hours here you can use them between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Obviously 5 a.m.'s early, but pretty much everybody's getting up because they want to get down and see the morning show of balloons. Let's see. The other thing I did not expect to happen at this event, which is one of the best things we've ever done, and I want to thank Less Junk, More Journey for encouraging me. They came here last year. They were actually here this year, but I haven't seen them because. They and also Keep Your Daydreams. I decided to put that on the bucket list and get here. So we're here. So a couple things though that happened that I did not expect. I did not expect to find the coolest hat ever. And of course it's getting close to Halloween. Our son saw this and he said, get me one. So we had to get 2, one to send to him for his Halloween, for his office Halloween party. So, is this not cool? It lights up. Everybody that sees it says, cool hat.
I could wear a costume.
Yeah.
That's a whole different deal.
Yeah. So if you come, you got to get a cool hat. The second thing, before we left on this trip, I bought a new camera. I bought the new Canon M50 with the kit lens. I did not get a telephoto lens originally. And I didn't know that Canon is a sponsor here, so I we went to the Canon booth because they have an expert and you can ask the expert any questions. And so I had a few questions, one of which was, why is my microphone, why do I not hear anything through my microphone? I had tried to diagnose this online in a couple of places, like a forum, a Canon forum. And so the guy there was able to diagnose my problem, I think. So I have this Boya not that you care, but I have this, if somebody cares, this Boya BY-M1 microphone, and I didn't read all the information when it came. It takes a couple of little tiny batteries. It works fine on my iPhone. I thought it would work the same on my Canon, but it doesn't. I think it needs the batteries, so we solved that. But I also then took advantage of their slight reduction in prices here at the Fiesta and bought a new telephoto lens, so that'll be fun to work with. And the guy gave me all kinds of tips and taught me how to do my wireless transferring of photos onto my backup drive that I bring with me. So those are a few things. And while I was editing, and John is over there taking a nap in the front seat, I want to mention one more thing about this location. If you are a member of Planet Fitness, there is a Planet Fitness within walking distance. It's probably half a mile away. So we plan to take advantage of that today and tomorrow. So just wanted to throw that out there if any of you are members. I'm also excited to have 2 more mornings to watch the balloons take off. It was really spectacular. I think we were both really blown away by the beauty of it all. So that's all I have. I forgot. I wanted to talk to you quickly about a couple of things that we've been dealing with. Now the sun is really bright.
Put your hat on.
Oh no, put the awning out. It's actually not windy enough that we can use the awning. Hold on a second. Okay, well now the awning is out, but the sun has gone behind the clouds again. So a couple of issues I want to share with you. One is the blind on the door, the door that closes up the opening here. What's this called? The sliding door. Sliding door. We've had several times we've had it fall out of where it hooks in. It seems to be slightly different than the other blinds in the back. The dealer has supposedly, retensioned it a couple times, but it fell out a 3rd time on this trip. And this time I figured out who the company is that makes them for Pleasureway. And it's called MCD, and I will try to put a link to their manual. I'll try to put a link to it, or else I'll post it somewhere. I don't know what I'll do there. Eventually, maybe I won't be able to do it right now. Eventually, I'll get you the instruction manual for it. Although I didn't find it very helpful because it doesn't describe this problem per se. But MCD got back to me immediately. They've been really helpful online. I'm probably gonna he was the guy, when I tried to call, he was at lunch. I'll try to contact him again and get this problem sorted out, and get that blind working again. And Neil at Ultra Mobility, he's awesome. I had sent him a comment and asked him if he'd had any problems, and he said yes, and he would try to contact someone at Pleasureway. But hopefully we'll get that solved, and that's that's a nothing issue really, because we have other ways to put a screen up, either Reflectix or my shower screen. My shower screen is great for screening off the front or the side of the van. I just stick it to the that fluffy material up there. And then the other issue is the refrigerator is not working on propane, but we have made an appointment with a dealer in Colorado Springs because we're going to be near there, and I'm really pleased to say that he is squeezing us in, because we had tried to contact other dealers who said they were too booked up. And as you probably know, the tech industry is challenged not the tech industry, the RV technicians, there's a shortage of them, and so it's a problem sometimes getting in to see one, especially when you're on the road. I mean, the people you buy from, yes, they'll take care of you, but if you're on the road, it becomes a little bit more problematic. So he's going to squeeze us in, and maybe I can figure out a way to get him to help me with the blind. Who knows? The other the other thing with the refrigerator is I'm really pleased to say that it works fine on battery power. So if you have the lithium batteries, the 200 amp hours, it works fine. We only seem to lose 10% overnight or less, and haven't had any problem using the batteries with the refrigerator at all. I think it's partly because this is cooler weather and we don't have to crank it all the way up to the number, the full coldness. So that has been a very pleasant surprise as far as the refrigerator goes, and hopefully they will be able to fix it and make it work on propane, because when we had originally tried, it was I could smell propane, and then eventually it wouldn't even work at all on propane. So those are the two issues. John, was there something else? Was there another issue? Anything else? And I did forget something. I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, and I don't remember which one it was, that the light on the Spyder Control would come on all on its own. I think the awning's going to close, John, from the wind. But the Spyder Control would come on by itself at night, and that's why I put this little felt black screen over the top, so it didn't wake me up. And so one of the subscribers, Bill, I think it was, said that he had the same issue with his van, and he gave me, and thank you so much, he gave me the name of the person to contact at Spyder Control. Actually, he had been referred by Pleasureway to Spyder Controls, and he gave me their phone number and the name of the person, and that they easily sent your replacement, because it's not supposed to do that, and it's only one of our panels that does that. There are 2 panels in the van, and so I'm going to, when I get somewhere with internet and all of that sort of good stuff, I'm going to contact them and see if we can straighten it out and get that replaced. So the third thing, I knew there were 3 things. Things always happen in 3. So from now on, it's going to be smooth sailing all the way to wherever we're going. Got a lot of places to go still. Okay, that's really it. Thanks. These are all minor things. I think that I think it really helps to have kind of a Pollyanna attitude when you're out RVing. You kind of have to. You got to always look at the bright side of things. And if I'm using a word no one's familiar with, Pollyanna, maybe I'll insert a clip.
Do you know why I hate Sunday? Because it means the starting of another week.
That's true.
That's when you can play the glad game.
Here it comes. Miss Goody Two-Shoes is going to find something about Sunday to be glad about.
Oh, lay off her, Angie.
Stop it.
If you knew how to play the game, then you could find something to be glad about too. But you don't.
A great movie, but you got to play the glad game. So you'll work it out and figure out ways to make things work. So I think I've covered it all. We're still really happy with the box on the back of the RV. It's really working out well for things like weird hats, storing things like that, and souvenirs. I can't help myself. I got to have a shirt on every place we go. So I'm going to say goodbye now for real, and I hope you guys have pleasant journeys wherever you go. Thanks for watching.